channel. I'm Rachel.
I'm Nikki and we are the Stitch Sisters.
Yes, we are. We are the biggest lovers of sewing and DIY fashion. And we're very excited to bring to you today one of our favourite kinds of videos because we're going to be looking at sewing patterns.
We are, but very special sewing patterns.
Yes.
You know what's coming up just around the corner. We're just going to mention it very quietly. Ready? Christmas.
Or just the festive season, whatever festivities you celebrate.
Yes.
And you messaged me recently, didn't you? You were sat thinking about
Exciting
party
things.
dresses.
Yes.
Yeah. And Nikki said, right, we should do a challenge. We should do. We should make. Hi, Maisie.
Yes, Maisie.
Maisie wants an outfit too. We should make party outfits. And then the idea kind of developed from there. So we've decided we have been wanting to do a live for ages.
Yes.
And what could be better than a live party?
A live Christmas party.
Not a Christmas party, a Stitchmasparty.
So you will choose something to make for yourself for our Stitchmasparty with the Stitch Sisters, and we're going to do a live where we put our fancy frocks on and we have a little drink or two with you guys to celebrate Christmas, because you are our work gang. You are our Christmas night out.
Yeah, exactly. So this is our way of being able to have a party with people from all around the world. Now we are not expecting you to make an outfit specifically for this. We just want as many people to join in as possible.
Yeah.
So if you've got something you've made before, or you've upcycled, or even if you've bought it sustainably or something like that, why not join in? And what we're going to do is we'll come to you live. We haven't decided on a date yet, but sometime around the middle of December.
Yes.
And we will come to you live in our outfits.
Yes.
Once we've chosen them. And then we'll kind of discuss those, have a few cocktails, and we can also share details of yours. So if you share them on social media, if you share your plans, or if you share your finished outfit pictures on the date that we
or the day before,
we let you know. But if you use the hashtag Stitchmasparty, then we will look at that in advance, but we'll also go through whilst we're live, and we can kind of name check everybody and put up pictures and show your outfits.
But also, please feel free to join in, even if you haven't made anything. It doesn't matter. We just want, you can wear something that you really love, or just something, even if you've made only a few things, if you've made one thing that you're really proud of, just put it on. We just want to share a bit of the sewing love.
Sorry, I'm slightly distracted because I've just moisturised, and Maisie obviously likes it because she's licking me like a lollipop.
Yes, what's
going
on?
Distracting.
You're very excited.
You were saying everyone should join in regardless.
Yeah, regardless, even if you're just in your fanciest pyjamas, we do not care.
Yeah.
We just want you to be there, and we just want to feel, I don't know, a bit like we're connected with you guys and be a bit more as part of a community. It would really mean a lot to us this year, because we haven't had any Christmas parties for ages.
No, and obviously very little happened last year, so we're determined that we're going to have some fun this year.
Exactly.
So we can't wait. We're really excited. So in this video, we have decided, in fact, we're filming 2 videos, but we're putting together our potential outfit choices. So we both come up with 5 options for dresses.
Yes.
And then in another video,
so 10
we've got and then another video we've got non-dress options.
Yeah.
So things that you can wear for a night out, special occasion, but not a dress.
You don't always want to wear a dress.
No, sometimes you don't feel like I think I'm probably going to lean more towards that category this year.
Yeah.
But what we thought is we would share them with you to give you some inspiration.
Yes.
And obviously, if you want to share inspiration with anybody else, then whether you're on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or wherever, just use hashtag Stitchmasparty, and we will make sure we're checking that hashtag to see what everybody else is up to.
Definitely. And we will be, so we'll take you through our pattern, choosing our patterns, choosing our fabric. We might even do a little sneaky peek sew along with some little bits and pieces and stuff like that. So we're hoping just to kind of get them momentum up, so everybody's really excited by the time the Christmas party comes.
Yes.
Which is exactly how it should be.
Exactly. Now, we know that at filming this, we are a third of the way through November already. Yes. We haven't got long, so we're going to have to move quite quickly on this. We're going to give you our pattern suggestions or kind of our short list. And then what we'll do is we'll choose our favourites that we're actually going to make.
Yes.
And we'll buy our fabrics and details and all that kind of stuff. Then we'll film another one where we talk you through exactly what it is that we're going to be making.
Yes.
Then we'll need to crack on with the making
Jeez.
pretty quickly. And in the meantime, we will come up with a date and we'll post it here on stories on YouTube, but we'll also do it over on Instagram and everywhere else.
We can make some graphics and stuff which people can share to say that they're joining in and stuff like that. Yeah. So we'll get all of that done. We are literally so excited because it's already the 10th of November. You are being very annoying. Go on, go on.
I might not be making much else other than gifts and that sort of thing. It might be my only wardrobe make, depending on how complicated it ends up getting.
Well, I think we need to get our teeth stuck into something. And for one, I'm super excited about making a fancy dress. I cannot remember the last time I made a fancy dress. And I have I probably have a couple of Christmas events that I can wear it to this year. Yeah. So I am justifying the fact that I am making something new, which is fancy, out of lovely fabric, because I have at least 2 or 3 Christmas parties I'm going to wear it to.
Yes, and also I haven't made anything smart for years, I don't think. So
our socialite soiree was our
I
last
think,
one,
and that was 4 years ago, 3 years ago. So I think that not only will it be something that I can wear multiple times this year, but I will wear it other years as well. And that's kind of what I want to keep in the front of my mind when I'm choosing my patterns, is what is something that's got longevity. If I'm going to be putting a lot of time into making it, is it something that I'm going to want to get out of my wardrobe every year? Yes. And is it something I'm going to be really excited to wear again? And if you don't have that need, or you don't have any genuine excitement for it, then don't worry, sit this one out. You can still have a cocktail with us at our live. But yeah, don't worry, there's no pressure. Just, everyone's welcome.
Even if you just got a Santa hat on. Yeah. And some other clothes. Clearly, we need some other clothes. But just the Santa hat will be all you'll need to join in.
It's a live, not a Zoom. We can't see you. Unless you send us pictures, we can't see you. So you could be in your pyjamas and no one would care.
No one would know. Yes. Anyway, let's do some patterns.
Okay, right. Dress patterns. We've got 5 dress patterns each. So should we alternate?
Yes.
Go on then. You hit me with number 1. And this isn't in order of priority or anything, is it?
No. It's not that at all.
I still genuinely don't know which one to choose.
I am having to refer to my phone because as usual,
I've got my iPad here
I can't even remember my name most days, never mind 5 pattern numbers. So it's the McCalls 8038, and this is a full length backless, because it's got a big scooped back gown, which they've made in a sequin, and I am quite drawn to sequins. I'm very, very drawn to sequins, mainly because I've never sewn with them, and mainly because I want a sequin dress. I'm trying to hold myself back from the kind of the crazy sequins, and maybe this, because it's full length, will kind of give me that option, because it'll be a lot of sequins and I can make it a bit smaller. So we shall see. That's one of the options.
Let me have a look at it a bit closer, because often with sequins, one of the things to consider is how many kind of seams there are. Depending on the fabric, sometimes you have to trim away the sequins close to the seams and that sort of thing.
So I am thinking either the sleeveless option or the one with the cap sleeve with the very low back.
Yeah, well that's definitely minimal, because you've got bust darts, you've got back darts, and that's it. The skirt just looks like it's bias cut. It does have a back seam. And it looks like there's a little godet, a little kind of, it depends whether you want that option, but that's kind of like a train. So there's a little triangular piece in the back.
Yes.
So that's a little bit, but that is still minimal seams.
Minimal seams, minimal sewing to have to deal with sequins. So, but I've never sewn with them before, so I feel as if it's kind of like, I want to put my foot in that little pond and try and sew some sequins and start swearing at them, and have a little dustpan and brush to sweep them up at the end. So that's an option. I think it's quite a nicely shaped dress. I think it's kind of straight up and down with a little bit of a kick at the bottom, but it doesn't look too fitted on the actual model.
That back is sexy, isn't it?
It's very, very gorgeous, and it's got this side split and everything as well. And I love the detail on the little cap sleeves. They almost
Yeah.
look like they're kind of pleated or something at the top.
Yeah.
I think that is probably one of my favourites.
Yeah.
If I can have favourites at this stage, which is dress number 1.
Okay, well, I would look for a couple of things on that. So
Yeah.
I think that you want to make sure that it's lined, because
Yes.
anything sequin is going to be really uncomfortable to wear. If you
Yes.
imagine, even if you trim the sequins off of your seams, it's still going to be quite scratchy on those seams. So you definitely
Yeah.
want it to be lined. And I would be tempted to look for one of those kind of slightly stretchy sequin fabrics.
Yes.
And then line it with a slightly stretchy lining as well.
Okay.
Because you might get away with without the zip. Because it's got such a low back.
Yeah.
So all you've got to do is be able to wiggle into the bottom portion of it.
I can wiggle into the bottom portion.
And I think it could be simplified by doing it in something that has stretch.
Yeah. Sounds very interesting. So I like that. That's a good option, I think, and it's quite a current McCalls one. So I think it's very available to everybody.
It's
so
that's sexy.
Option number 1.
Are you thinking something similar for like rose goldy type? Because you've always been drawn towards that sort of colours.
That
before.
Champagne kind of rose gold.
Well, I'm going to start with a classic.
Ooh.
Because this has been on my make list for years, ever since it came out, and I just forget about it all the time.
Yeah.
But I just remember the first time I saw it, I literally went, and it is the Tanya. Is it Tanya dress from Victory Patterns?
Yes.
So it's this kimono wrap dress, and I just think it's so simple.
Yes.
That you could buy a really, really nice fabric, a silk or like a charmeuse or something like that, but something that's like liquid.
Oh yeah,
gold
pain in
type
the arse
thing.
to sew with.
Yeah, it would be. But then that's the other thing that I like about it. It is minimal seams because it's a raglan.
Okay.
So you've got basically you've got your raglan bodice, then you've got your large kimono raglan sleeve, and then you've got a little portion at the back.
Yes.
And then there's a waistband, and then there's a skirt, a wrap skirt, which will be 2 fronts and a back. So even though it might be a bit of a nightmare to sew with, depending on the fabric, I think you could keep it really simple, and then it's just about making sure that you've got nice neat hems and those kind of things.
Yeah.
So I like that idea. I also think that you could get that sort of effect with something like a Cupro or a viscose or something that kind of gives you that very drapey, wafty, and almost sort of matte finish.
Yes.
But without it having to be too expensive or too kind of stressful in terms of handling it.
But then that's it's knee length or just past the knee. It's not. I mean, I guess the sleeves are quite voluminous. The skirt's quite voluminous. It might be 3 meters that you would need in order to get it cut out. But I think it would be worth it because it's such a stunning dress.
And what appeals to me about it is that it's because it's a waist high and because it's a wrap.
Yes.
Then it's got that comfort factor as well. You start off the evening with it wrapped as tight as you can manage and your waist looking all nice and cinched. And then as the evening goes on, it gets looser and looser and looser and looser. And it's fine. You can keep adjusting it.
Till it's off and then nobody cares.
Exactly. So that's my first option. And I am thinking I like the idea of a solid colour. Either going for a fancy silk or going for something just really drapey and that looks expensive, even though
it will look expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me just show you actually, because I don't know if I've still got it on here. There was one other that it's probably on my phone, but anyway, I'll put a picture up. There was a robe that I found that I loved, and it's by a company called Muna Patterns, and it's this amazing full length gown, like robe.
Yeah.
And it is meant to be like a fancy retro boudoir type thing,
wafting around it.
And it's called the Dita, funnily enough. But I just thought you could wear that as a you just tie it up. It doesn't matter that it doesn't even have to be fixed. You just got a belt, as long as it's all secure and everything. But it's got beautiful sleeves and drape and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But there were a few from Muna Patterns actually that I found that I think are lovely, but unfortunately their sizing's really restrictive.
Oh, is it?
So even though the robe went to an extra large, that's still only a 40-inch bust. And I couldn't tell whether that was finished garment measurements, which would be just about okay for me.
Yeah.
But with something like that, you want it floaty and oversized.
Of course, yeah.
And it just didn't lend itself to that. And that was an extra large. Some of the other patterns that I looked at from them, the largest size was a medium. And that's like a 36-inch bust for them. So that's just
not good.
no.
That's
so I
not
decided, in order to be as inclusive as possible, I'd avoid that and find an alternative. And then I remembered this Victory Patterns one.
Well, do you know what's really funny? If I go on to my second one, I have one which is very similar to that kind of style.
So it could be the Kimono
The
Girls.
Kimono Girls. Well, because, and this is one that's been on my list for a while.
Oh, yeah. In fact, you've already got the pattern.
I've got the pattern and everything for this. So this would be nice and easy. It's Simplicity 8013. And we mentioned this a couple of years ago in a pattern review of the most recent patterns coming out.
Yeah.
And I bought the pattern and everything. What has put me off is that it needs something like 5 meters of fabric because it is ginormous. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful, but it has got that kind of long sleeved, wafty, low front, cinched in waist, the whole thing. So if you don't do that one, you could always do that one instead.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I like the shorter length of that one.
Yes.
I don't know whether I'd want a maxi length version of that. I love it. What fabric are you envisaging for that?
But then I was thinking whether I could get away with a sequin on that as well. But I do love the satin, that kind of, so something that's dramatic and in the one colour. You know, I can never get past, sometimes I never get past the pictures. So actually I would recreate that blue one.
Yeah. Well, that blue would be absolutely gorgeous on you.
Yeah.
And some sort of crepeback satin or something like that would be nice to sew with. You'd have to get a lightweight one, I think, for all that fabric.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to sew with, and also it would give you that wow factor.
Yes. But I think maybe something kind of like petrol-y blue, even something with a slight shimmer to it, a slight iridescence to it or something like that is what I'm thinking. Because there's so much dress that you don't want to distract with a pattern or anything like that. So I would pick a colour or something like that. So that is my number 2.
Nice.
And it, like I said, has been one that I've loved and has been on my list to make for a long time. And I could save myself £12 by already having the pattern.
Perfect. Well, that definitely gives it extra points then, doesn't it?
What's next?
Well, my next one, again, I'm going to pick one that's got some similarities to you. And this is a woman that I've only found recently. She's called Montoya Mayo.
Ooh.
And so this is the Tori wrap dress, but it's actually also a coat.
Wow.
So it comes in, let me show you the jacket version. So it would work for separates as well.
Yeah.
And there's a coat version that has a band around the front, but they would all work as dresses. I love the high-low hem. I love the, so this bishop sleeve on the red version is a hack that's on her website.
Right.
As is the kimono sleeve. But I only recently found her. She's got several patterns that you can buy on her website.
Is this her?
Yes.
Okay. Lovely.
Well, I'm guessing it is because she's in all of the pictures.
Oh, okay.
But also she has so many sewing tutorials on her blog. Ooh. So many, and loads of DIY projects, pattern lists. So even for something like this, you would find dresses on there that you could make without even any pattern. I just love when you find someone, because you think you know the sewing community quite well and you think you know everyone that there is, and then you find someone like her who's got so much content and it's so good, it's so well done, and you can tell there's years and years and years of love that's gone into producing that. And it's amazing that for whatever reason it's just not been on my radar until now, but will be from now on. So I love that Tori wrap dress, and I love how versatile the pattern is, and I think you can get a range of different outfits.
What are you thinking fabric wise?
Well, I'm thinking with that one, it could be quite fun to have a print. All I'm thinking is it would lend itself really well to any kind of printed viscose. So I'm just, or even a crepe or something like that. So I'm just thinking if I found a pattern that I loved, a print that I loved, then it could be really cool for that. But I also absolutely love that bright red colour as well. I think it's absolutely gorgeous.
Lovely. I love you in red as well, because you suit red very, very well. So
Thanks,
you do.
darling.
Right, so what else have we got? Right, I've got another maxi length one now. So this is the McCalls 8037.
Okay, so that's been on our list before.
It has, yes. And I do like, I like all three versions of this. So but again, I'm seeing it maybe. I do think I could maybe get away with it in a sequin because it does have that kind of. It has a straighter silhouette, but I do quite like it in the satin again. So I'm kind of thinking either or. But I like the front split in this one. I do like the sleeveless version as well, and I think that one is one that's got a cowl neck at the front.
I like that.
But I think I prefer the split front to the cowl. So yes, but I'm not sure whether I go sleeveless or with a sleeve. I
also think that in the picture the model's got a shoulder pad in,
and
I think that gives it a lovely, nice shape on the shoulder.
Yeah. Even with my rugby player shoulders.
I've got rugby player shoulders. I think you need to embrace your amazing shoulders.
Amazing, but then add shoulder pads.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there's the line drawing. So you've got either a tie belt option or you've got the cowl neck at the front, and then it's quite simple at the back. You've just got it's obviously cutting the bias, but there's a front split. So again, I think there's not a lot of seams. It maybe this gathering might be tricky at the front when it comes to the sequins if I went for a sequin fabric, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I could do
it depends how it's
stretched,
how
there's
gathered.
no zip.
I'm just trying to
I think it's the stretch fabric because there's no zip.
Because it does look like it's just the tie.
Oh, it's just the tie.
That's how it looks.
In.
Like it's just the tie that's creating that. I don't think they're actual gathers.
It's not gathered.
So I would look into that in more detail. But if that's the case, it could be really good for sequins. The only thing I would suggest is if you see this stitching around the hem here, it looks like that is just a narrow hem.
Yes.
And I think you'd want to avoid that on sequins.
Yeah.
So
I could bias hem it or something.
Yeah, you could do that. That would work actually. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. But I'd have to, that's the other thing, is that any dress that's not meant for sequins, I would have to line.
Well, I think you'd have to line certainly the top half, and you'd probably want to do from the hip upwards. But it depends, on the fabric that you find. If you find one that's comfortable enough, you could always French seam it, and then you wouldn't have to. Or literally bind all your seams with.
Okay, I don't mind with satin bias binding or something. Yes, but then maybe I could do it in a satin or something, and then I wouldn't need to do that because there's, I'm not beholden to the sequins. Yeah. So I just think it's a lovely shape and would suit my figure. Yeah,
I'm going to try this time around and just think about kind of practicalities, and we have got a short window this time.
Yes.
And I don't want it to be stressful. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. So I want to pick a project where I can make something that I really love and enjoy the process. I don't want the process to be stressful.
No, exactly.
No. Okay, so speaking of which, let me share a really, really simple one with you, because I reckon this one could be knocked up in an afternoon, and it is the Cassandre dress. From Clematisse Patterns.
She's pretty.
But it's so simple. Let me show you this other picture here. So that's it kind of front on.
Yeah.
So it's this little V-neck sort of camisole top. It's got little darts and the sort of armhole darts to give it some shaping on the bust, which I like because sometimes those kind of tops, they don't have any shaping.
No.
And especially if you've got a fuller bust, they don't seem to work as well. But then the skirt is just this kind of gathered rectangle with a little ruffle on the top. And it's the fabric that makes it for this. It's the fact that it's in this lurex. I love the little crossover straps and the low back. I think it's really sexy.
Yes.
But I know how simple it would be because that bodice is lined, so it would just be lined with the same fabric.
Yes.
It wouldn't need much at all, and then you're just making little rouleau straps for the straps, and then you're basically hemming a rectangle and attaching it to the bodice.
That fabric I made my trousers out of last year.
That sort of thing
similar.
Would be perfect. Yeah. But what I love about this is that where she's styled it here with the boots, I personally wouldn't choose those boots, but it makes me think that sort of dress would work great with a pair of DMs or just any kind of basic boot. But then you could, so it would be a more casual outfit if you wanted, if you're just going out for drinks or something like that. That and a leather jacket would be a really cool outfit. But then if you were to put it on with a pair of heels and a little clutch,
Yes.
then I think that would really
fancy jewellery.
Yeah, that would really elevate it. And I
Yeah.
think when you've got simple kind of necklines like that,
yeah.
then you do get to your accessories get to kind of get to have fun
Absolutely.
with them because you really notice them.
It's gorgeous.
So I love it, and I particularly like it in that fabric. So I would be
Okay.
wanting to find some kind of lurex fabric.
Silver, yeah.
Silver or any colour would be fine, but I just love the way that it shimmers. I just
It
think
looks
it's
like
gorgeous.
she's wearing liquid silver, which is not a bad thing at
No,
Christmas,
not a
definitely.
bad thing. But that is a perfect example of a quick and easy one that doesn't have to be
Yes.
stressful. You're not going to have to worry too much about
Yes.
fitting. You could do a bust adjustment depending on how big the cup size is, but it looks like it's fairly loose fit anyway, and it's not supposed to hug you, it's supposed to hang.
Yes.
And then you've got this oversized rectangle.
So my next one is my final commercial pattern, and it's another McCalls one, and it's M8142. This is another sequin dress, but actually I like two versions of this. So I like version C, which is a sort of asymmetrical top.
Very Tess.
Very
Tess Daily.
Exactly. My husband loves Tess
As soon as I saw it, I was like,
that's it. Tess, maybe that's the one. So I love the asymmetrical top. I love anything that's kind of shows off my shoulders and things like that. It's still, feasible for me to be able to wear a bra with it and everything like that. But I like the length. I'd probably make it slightly longer so it actually came down to the tops of my feet. And I like the front split.
Yeah.
So, and it's made for sequin fabric. So I think that would be a good one. But I also like that little snazzy number.
Ooh, yeah, I love that.
So version A is a slightly different version. It's got this kind of...
It's a completely different version.
But it's from the same... It's the same dress pattern. It's bizarre,
awesome.
Isn't it? But I love the sleeves. I love that kind of ruched front. I liked the this kind of cowl neck that's going on, but this kind of extra
it's
fabric
like a
coming
shawl
up
collar. There is a name for it. I can't remember what it is now, but it's like a shawl collar, but it stands up instead of folding back.
So I'm kind of umming and ahhing about that one, and I do think it's very sexy. I quite like it's my one and only shorter one.
I don't think that would work with sequins. I think it's too much.
No, I think satin or something for that one.
Yeah, I think a solid colour so that you can really see the details.
Yes, and possibly hot pink, because obviously I can't get past the drawing.
Yeah.
But so that is an option, and I quite like that idea because there are two on there that I really like, but then maybe that's making it worse because I'd have to choose which one even when I bought the pattern. But I do like it. I like both of those dresses. So maybe I've been a bit cheeky and added in a 6.
That's all right. My next option is completely different, but I very much like it. So this is a grasser pattern.
Oh, nice.
And I just think that it's awesome. It's so high fashion, and I absolutely love it.
Is the blouse underneath, is that part of it, or is that kind of like a sewn on collar, or is it?
No, it's the collar you make separately.
Okay.
So it's not part of the dress. There is the option there is the picture of it without the collar. But, but I love the collar. That's obviously, but it's not just that. I love the slightly extended shoulder with the shoulder pads.
Yes.
And then I love these huge vintage buttons. And I just think it's so much fun, and it's the only kind of slightly fitted thing that I would consider, because I think with something like this, because it's got so much structure in the shoulders, it wouldn't need to be completely form-fitting.
No.
And you could use a slightly heavier fabric, like a wool or even a scuba or something.
Double crepe.
Exactly. Crepe. And I think it would hold its shape quite well.
Yeah.
Which means that it wouldn't have to be fitted to my hips. It could be a little bit looser.
It doesn't look like it's too fitted. I mean, obviously
it's kind of
she's
a jacket
extremely
fit, isn't it?
slim,
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like it's kind of form fitting.
Yeah.
It looks as if there's some room in it. I like the way it kind of looks almost tubular. Do you know what I mean? It's got so much structure to it. Like the sleeves almost take on like a shape of their own, and the dress looks like it looks like you could take it off her and you could stand it up.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's a good thing.
There's something about the proportions and the shapes that I just love. I love the sleeve where it hits on the arm. Like I said, I love this extended shoulder and the way that it accentuates the waist. And I love the length of it. There is a longer version of this, and it's only shown kind of on an illustration. but that looks really matronly and completely wrong.
Because
it needs that short length.
Yeah.
And also, again, I'm not usually one for being like, I'll just make exactly that, but I do happen to have awesome velvet platform sandals in that green, which would go perfectly with that style of dress.
What shape is the neckline underneath the collar? Is it a square neckline underneath there?
It's round.
Oh, it's round,
yeah,
is it?
It's round like a jacket.
You can't really tell because you're only seeing about an inch at the front.
Yeah, I absolutely loved that, and I just thought it would be so different and quite a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. But you could wear different things with it. You could put a polo neck under it or something like that, and that would give it more life and give it a bit more of a different look.
The only thing that might put me off that is that the dress that I made this time last year was my Bakerloo dress, my tartan Christmas dress, which also had a big white collar. So I mean, whilst this is a much more sophisticated version, I think much more sort of high fashion version. Yeah. I'm just I'm not sure I'd get as much wear out of that as I would some of my other options, but I do love it.
Okay, but then, you know, I know you want to get a lot of wear out of it, but you should take into account if you really love it as well.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. Right, your number 5?
My number 5 is a indie pattern. So this is from Our Lady of Leisure, and it's called the Cosmo dress. So this is it.
Oh, it's very sexy.
So it's quite a sexy one again. I did think possibly I could get away with doing sequins on it again because there are very few seams, but I do like it in the satin, which is what they've kind of shown it in, this solid colour. I just think I could make it in something, maybe like, I'm almost like imagining like a brushed velvet or something like that. Something very luxe.
Is it a jersey dress?
I think it is because I don't think it's got a it's jersey. So I could get a stretch velvet and I could make it in that.
Yeah, that would be gorgeous. What colour would you go for?
Oh, I am thinking possibly like I don't know, like a red or like a burgundy or like something. I think because it's such a simple shape. And that I just want the colour to look really sexy. But then
red's a great colour on you too.
Red's a great colour. But then maybe, I don't know, maybe bright blue or something like that. Or but I really like the sleeves. I like the fact that it's showing the shoulders off again. I just thought it was quite sexy and a kind of mid version, so not quite full length. And it would be really simple to make as well.
Yeah,
that would be a really quick one.
It up in no time.
Yes. So that's my quick and easy option. If things all start to unravel, I'll make that one.
Nice. That's very, very nice. I love it. I think some of these will depend on finding the right fabric.
Yes,
as long as you find fabric you're really excited about, then that will help make the decision.
Absolutely.
So my final one is called the Blake dress, and it's by VZ Patterns. But check this out. Look at these rivets at the back. Now, what I'm envisaging is you take this, make it full length. Yeah. And you've got the dress from Scarface, basically, but even sexier because I love those gold rivets in the back. I just think it's really cool. I love the halter neck tie like that. I like the fact the rivets the rivets give it a kind of retro 70s vibe.
It's a bit peekaboo dresses and stuff.
Yeah, but not in a way that's kind of really showing anything that you don't want to see. It's below the bra and above the knickers. So, but I just think if you were to extend that to maxi length, it's really simple on the front. It's just literally sort of square neck. And I also think because this looks like it's been made in a woven fabric, or like a more kind of, I don't know, heavy fabric.
Yes.
And I'm thinking that something very drapey is what you would need,
especially if you're taking it maxi length.
Yeah, exactly. So I just thought when I saw the back on it, I was like, oh, hello. Ooh. That's certainly different.
It's very nice, and I like the fact that you've got a little ball where you can pull it in at the back. Yeah. So you could undo it if you wanted to, but it'll just look like it's roomy as well.
Yeah, I also think it could be really, really sexy to do to switch it out for a wide ribbon.
Yes.
So let's say you made the dress in a crepe. Yes. And then you found a solid colour ribbon in a slightly darker shade. But like a wide one. Hello. Oh, kisses and everything. Lovely. Thank you. So that's my final option. So they're the ones that I am considering. Now I have to be completely honest, whilst hearing you being very excited about your gowns and your sequins and that sort of thing.
Yes.
I personally am much more excited about the options in my non-dress.
Yes, I knew you would be.
So because there are some in there that I am really excited about.
There is no rules to say that you have to wear a dress in order to go to a fancy event. So that's why we're bringing you 2 videos. Today was the dresses, and our next video will be the non-dresses.
Yes.
Because I found some that I'm really excited about as well. Even though I think I'm going to make a dress, I might change my mind.
Excellent.
We might both be non-dressed. You know, just never know.
Cool.
So we'd love to hear what you think. Let us know. We know you guys always love to tell us which are your favourites. So let us know which ones you want us to choose, and we will see what we're thinking. But tune back in for the next video where we will take you through all the non-dress versions. We're talking jumpsuits, we're talking suits, we're talking all kinds of things. So
exciting.
Come back for that.
Okay, we hope you've enjoyed it. Now start thinking about your Stitchmasparty outfits.
Yes.
And we will get back to you with a date very soon on when we're going to be having our Stitchmasparty.
Stitchmas! See you later. Bye. Bye, Daisy.